We live in a world saturated with media. We see our reality through them. But these are not transparent operations. They involve the workings of power.
The political economy of the media is a clear way to determine the relationship between the vertical and horizontal integration of power structures and its effect on society. A 2007 study showed that women, Latinos, and Black communities in North America own a small portion of radio stations. 6% of women, 2.9% of Latinos, and 3.4% of African Americans in the U.S. respectively. According to the study, evidence showed that a lack of minority ownership in radio stations results in low levels of representation. As we look more into films, magazines, and social media, we can safely assume that big companies that have huge influences in media and society, like Walt Disney, Time Warner, and 21st Century Fox, will show a preference towards the audiences that they prefer to represent, based on who will help generate the most revenue.
Representation refers to our ability to communicate meaning within a language system that makes sense within a culture. Throughout media overall, men and women tend to be represented in two very different ways. Stereotypes are often used to portray gender in everyday, modern media. There have been media which defy gender stereotypes such as The Hunger Games, Brave, and This Is Us.
I volunteer! I volunteer as tribute!
Merida, stop! A lady enjoys elegant pursuits.
However, this is not typically the case. Most often, men are represented as very dominant, masculine, jocks, and fearless. This can be seen in media such as High School Musical, Friday Night Lights, and Riverdale. While on the other hand, women are represented as dependent on men, materialistic, and unintelligent.
Where are the plastics?
They're teen royalty.
That's Karen Smith. She is one of the dumbest girls you will ever meet. I'm kind of psychic. Really? It's like I have ESPN or something.
When discussing media representation of various groups, especially those we consider marginalized, stereotypes are often a primary concern, but sometimes breaking a stereotype doesn't quite go far enough. This section explores different approaches to queer content by analyzing various ways popular media have used characterize LGBT people. This section explores how the media encodes information. For instance, queer aesthetics typically challenges conventional ideas of what is thought to be universally true, while it is impossible to completely define queer aesthetics. Decoding of a message is how an audience member is able to understand and interpret the message. People are expressing their sexuality and gender identities like we've never seen before. As a result, there are new terms and phrases. LGBTQ adds queer to the mix, with second Q sometimes thrown in for questioning. Sometimes I and A are added to the relationship with the product they consume. There are different kinds of audiences. Media producers make audiences read your product in a certain way, but in actual fact, everyone reads and enjoys the product differently due to the individual's background and lifestyle.
The push for equal representation within media for minority groups is somewhat of a new movement, as it is only recently that minority groups have been able to come together, form an all-minority cast, and produce the content that they feel would best represent their culture. Crazy Rich Asians and Coco are best examples of this, because Crazy Rich Asians was filmed using an all-Asian cast, and Coco was voiced by an all-Latino cast.
This is huge, and it really is, because for 25 years, we have not seen a Hollywood movie with a full Asian cast. That's a pretty big deal.
Jordan Peele tried to continue this for the African American community by saying that he will never hire a white actor to play lead in his content. He specifically stated his content because he wants to give voice, and he wants Black actors to participate in media and be able to voice their opinions and express their beliefs. Media can change how people view a certain group, a certain individual.
Funny how the media covers white riots versus black protests. Seems like when the protesters are black, the media uses some pretty harsh words.
The bad guys, lawlessness, looting,
wild animals, criminals.
However, if you're white and you're tearing up the city because of a game, you're just young people.
Young people danced on a flipped over car.
As UK fans did stupid things.
Some maybe got a little out of control.
So by being able to give minorities a chance to express themselves and be able to voice their opinions on certain issues, that gives people a better insight as to what type of people they are overall.